is a Bramble Jam podcast. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Decom Descendants.
That's what I'm talking about.
Aaron, Dan,
Dino.
Decom Dino. We've gotten away from that. That's a shame.
That is a shame.
I know. It's almost like Brandon and I did it as a joke and forgot about it.
Forgot about it.
Now,
Weird. It's so weird.
Dan, you remember the movie that we were talking about today?
How
You
could
walked in
when
with
you
a pep in your
watch
step.
A movie like Horse Sense,
It just sticks with you.
you can't forget it.
Yeah. Would you say
can't.
you're more horse or more sense?
But
Yeah.
also, your life really is in two segments: before and after you watch Horse Sense.
I
for the
agree.
first time.
I agree.
Lawrence brother joint.
Yep.
2 of the 3. There is
There's
a
cameo.
there is a
There's a
cameo.
There's a
to
Matty
make it a-
cameo. Is it Matt? Who is it? What's his name? It's
It is
Andy,
Matt.
Joey, and Matt. All right,
It is Matt. Matt's the one that we
I
get
know
a cameo
about
from.
the Lawrence brothers.
Whoa.
Big fan of their podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Never-
Brotherly love.
Lawrence Bros Jam.
Never.
I bet we could get a Lawrence brother.
If we
interview.
can't get a Lawrence brother, what are we even doing?
Well, with an attitude like that, that's how
Yeah.
you don't get one.
That's
I will
true.
say this: the way Joey was looking in this movie,
My
I
gosh.
mean, one could hope they could land a Lawrence brother. I mean, sheesh.
Can I tell a really embarrassing story about Andy Lawrence?
I would love for you to.
Okay.
Then let's see what this looks
There
like.
was
Andy's always embarrassing. You know what I mean?
sorry about Joey's story.
Literally no one has an Andy Lawrence story.
Sorry.
Embarrassing
No,
or
everybody's just kind of like, oh,
embarrassing
Andy,
Embarrassing Joey
Andy.
story.
I did see a really weird video of them singing a song together on their podcast. It is a new song. Andy wrote a new song, and they all sing it together.
Andy's a musician.
Andy's a musician.
Fascinating. That's
I think-
fascinating stuff.
But
But they didn't have a brotherly band?
they had a brotherly band.
Oh, they did?
They did have a brotherly
I don't know if it
band.
ever became a thing, but I think they've definitely.
So they're not like the Jonas Brothers.
But I
Lawrence
think they
Family
might be
Jam
trying
Band.
to go that direction.
Dude, I would actually check it out. The Lawrence Family Jam Band.
The Lawrence Family Jam Band's a great
If
name.
they were playing at like Camperdown Plaza one
It was
day,
called Lawrence. The name of the group was called Lawrence. Nope,
no,
that's not them.
another
That's
great
another
band.
band.
I typed in Lawrence Family Band. That's what it came up with.
It is a family band by
Yeah.
the last name
Lawrence,
Lawrence.
that's
So
Yes. I have seen them. They're good.
love Lawrence.
You've seen them.
I love. Yeah,
They
they
opened
opened
for
up
the
for
Joe
Jonas
Bros.
Brothers. Ironically,
Another family band.
Can't
I
make
am.
that up.
I'm seeing Lawrence
It's called
later
the
this year.
Lawrence. This
Yeah.
is Lawrence
Yeah,
Brothers Band. That's
I used
also
to
not
be a
them.
big fan. It's since been retired, but there was this podcast called Rapid Fire Music Explosion, and that's all about Lawrence.
That's right.
Oh, that is an embarrassing story.
That's not the story, but it's a great podcast. It's been retired, R.I.P. Obviously.
Well, we
I
don't
didn't know
know.
that was a
It's
podcast.
It's
like
it's
take the day
time.
off. You know,
It's
it's
a time
one of those
thing.
shows that you're like, did that exist? Would it ever exist again? I don't know. August?
Take the day off was a fever dream. I don't think that was
Yeah.
real.
It wasn't real.
Anyway,
okay.
here's the-
while you
you don't-
tell your story,
Okay.
I'm going to play this Lawrence Brothers acoustic track.
Bring
Got it. So I don't know if I'm still in it. I don't pay attention to Facebook anymore. But I was in like a Hallmark movie group, not related to Deck the Hallmark. And somebody posted a photo, like a screenshot of a movie, and they were like, I cannot remember the name of this movie. And so everyone's trying to figure it out, and it's a couple like dancing in a living room. You cannot see the man's face. But I took one look at it, and I was like, that looks like Joey Lawrence's arms. And it was
Wow.
in fact Joey Lawrence.
Wow.
And
that.
we figured out what the movie was.
Just based upon
Just on his arms.
Do you want to
Just
put
on
your
his arms.
earbuds in and listen to a little Some Days by the Lawrence Brothers?
Do I ever?
Some days I feel like the flip side of the coin, and I can't help feeling down.
Big chorus time. Here we go.
Ooh, you send me, baby.
All right.
You
is
send me all around.
Hey, they're doing it live on the podcast, you know.
Ooh, you send me,
It's a catchy
baby.
little song.
You send me
I was
all
just wondering,
around. Yeah, wake
All right,
up,
Lawrence
wake
Brothers.
up, wake up, wake
cool,
up.
cool, good,
Lawrence
good
Family
job,
Jam
guys.
Band.
I would
Lawrence
say
Family Jam
Okay.
Band.
of the Lawrence
Name's not
family
taken.
bands, give me standard Lawrence. But
Of course.
Good
yeah.
for-
yeah,
Yeah,
for
but
Jonas
if I had
Brothers,
to
I
choose
knew.
a second Lawrence Family Band, the Lawrence Family Jam Band
There
would
you
be in the
go.
running.
shout out to the people that are leaving reviews. We're up to 60.
60?
Could we get to a hundo
I would love to see us
By
get
season
to
100?
by
We sure
season
could.
100? I don't know if we're doing
6 years
seasons. I don't know. This week's review comes from Bamston.
Yeah, there's no way that's Beth Ann McGraw Smith,
No.
Tennessee.
No, there's no way.
No way
Bamston.
that's who that is.
No way.
Aaron's my favorite.
There it is.
What it says. 5 stars.
That might be Beth Ann.
Numbers from my childhood that I remember. My home phone number. My house number. The weekend rental price for the VHS from the video store. Numbers from childhood I do not remember. Any TV channels.
Thank you, Beth Ann.
It's not helpful. It's
all.
not helpful for
Did
us.
she leave that phone number?
She did not leave that phone number, that
Or the
house
rental
number, or
cost.
the rental
Yeah.
price.
Well,
I don't believe you know it.
I don't remember the rental price for the Blockbuster.
It was almost always $4, like $3.99, $4.10 with tax. Like it was a $4.08. It was
For how
something like that.
long?
There were different ones. So the new releases were usually 2 days, and then
Right.
you could have a 7-day rental for the old ones, typically.
2 days, $4.
see, I was a child. My mother always checked those movies out. Like I had no clue. I just
Yeah, I had
was
no
like,
idea.
This VHS is
Rent-
what I want.
Renting a movie was such a big deal growing up.
Oh yeah,
that-
getting to go to Blockbuster.
No, I loved going. I just didn't know the price.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
just-
money wasn't real. Well, like when you're a kid, money's not real. It's just kind of like
once
okay.
or twice a year, I got to pick out one of those candies at the checkout. Oh, big day.
When I was in college, I know I'm old, but like 2003, 4-ish, before streaming, I would go, dude, if I ever had a day, I would go, I couldn't afford to go to the movie theater. I would go to Blockbuster, and me and my roommate had the membership where you could rent as many movies as you wanted for a certain price. And I would just get 3 or 4 DVDs. It was quite a time. I mean, those were the days, man.
My
it's just-
Blockbuster is a Five Guys now. So what are you gonna do?
There you go. You gotta
Jumping Ship is an actual sequel.
Yeah.
what's going on?
Okay,
right now?
sorry.
Great.
Horse Sense. Let's talk about it.
Is it a sequel to Horse Sense?
Yes.
Jumping Ship is a sequel to Horse Sense,
And it's the DCOM?
and it's a decom.
Thank goodness we
We're
got
gonna get
another
to
one.
it.
Yeah, the cousins go on another vacation.
Thank goodness.
But that one, Matthew's in it, in the
Predominantly.
He's not
predominantly.
related to them, but he's in it. He's,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can explain it to you, but
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll
Hey,
get
don't
there.
spoil it.
okay.
It's 2001 that movie, so we'll get to it in
Before Luck of the Irish.
before Luck of the
Oh,
man.
wow. Okay.
That stings. It stings
I get to
when you
make
say it
that
like
joke for a long time still. Cool.
so
cool.
long.
Cool.
What better way to decide how we're going to talk about I don't know. What better way to talk about let's do the delicious.
Delicious. Dun, 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 dun.
Aaron,
10 out of 10.
I believe you brought slabs of horse for us to consume today. What did you bring for the snack?
Slabs of horse?
I do feel like this is my last episode. I will be leaving the podcast.
You're the one that brought the slabs of
Can I get a
horse.
slab of horse medium?
If you want, there is a slab of Lewis barbecue brisket in the fridge.
Oh,
What happened there?
It's my lunch for today.
okay, fair enough.
All right.
But if we all want to split a piece of brisket.
No, you didn't say that. You said if you want it.
Well,
Now that you said it, I
think there's
do.
3 slices. We could each
Now I
have
feel
a
like-
slice of brisket.
What are you gonna do if we take all the barbecue?
There's also Lewis mac and cheese. So I
Oh
would eat
wow,
that.
okay.
Yeah, so we're calling a bit of an audible here. The cookie,
Omaha.
yeah, the cookie that I have for Horse Sense is called a cowboy cookie.
Okay.
Now this looks very similar
So this
to the
Monster
cookie from
cookie.
last week.
This is the monster cookie that I
Okay.
did not make last week, and
Okay.
everyone was upset about it. So I made that. The cowboy cookie has some ingredients that I did not think you would eat, and recording at a time where Dan is not eating. So
What? I just don't want to eat because it's chewing in the microphone.
yeah, so I just didn't know how you felt about shredded coconut.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
Love it.
Bram
Kinda
wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, so I said, well, I didn't make him the cookie with peanut butter, chocolate chips, and M&Ms. I don't think he's gonna love coconut. I will make the cookie I think Bran will enjoy more.
So this is the monster.
This is the
cookie.
monster
Okay,
cookie
but
from
what's
Don't Look
in the
Under the Bed.
cowboy cookie?
So the cowboy cookie is a little bit similar, but it has like chocolate chips, shredded coconut, oats.
That sounds like a better cookie.
I didn't know. See, I just
Coconut sounds better to you than just M&Ms
Putting
and chocolate
coconut
chips?
as a
and
part.
oatmeal?
I don't want a coconut cookie, but a little bit of coconut with all of those other ingredients. Bring it.
Really?
All right.
Absolutely.
I just figured I'd be the only one eating
Is
it.
it
It seemed
still-
like a lot
is
of
it-
work for one
is-
person to eat a cookie.
Is the cowboy cookie, is it still oatmeal based?
Yeah,
Oatmeal. So it's just the monster cookie with coconut.
a little bit.
Okay.
No, there's
little
I
bit.
I don't think there's any M&Ms.
No
Yeah.
M&Ms in the in the cowboy cookie. Okay.
It's a Monster Mash.
Yeah.
What makes a cowboy?
I have no idea. The oats.
You
maybe?
wear a hat while you eat it.
I'm just going based on what the recipe said, cowboy cookie, and I said, great, on theme.
Now maybe what you did last week, everybody, is you whipped up the monster cookies and you maybe didn't make them all. You have the batter still in your fridge. Maybe just throw some
Doable.
coconut in there.
That week old batter in your fridge.
Maybe you put
Yes.
freezed it. I don't know.
Maybe you put freezed it.
Maybe you put freezed it. I'd like to try.
Maybe
one.
you put freezed it.
Now that I'm doing now that I'm having.
Do you want a bite?
I don't.
I think so.
We're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back.
Chewing into the mic.
We're gonna dive into Horse Sense.
A movie we all remember.
Yes, a movie we all remember because we watched it just a second ago.
Yeah, we just finished it.
Here on Decom Descendants.
Decom Descendants.
I made a mistake. I thought it was.
You thought you could take a
I
bite
like
of
to go
cookie in the
fast.
break. Yeah. You tried to eat that whole cookie during the break. You just try to just the whole thing. The
There's a
break-
lot. I forgot how chewy oatmeal is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. How is it?
It's good.
Good? All
Dan,
right.
tell everybody about Horse Sense.
Horse Sense is a cinematic journey where brothers play cousins.
And cousins play
Cousins
brothers.
play brothers.
And cousins play brothers. Joey Lawrence is old. Andy Lawrence is young. Andy looks up to Joey and visits him in the Beverly Hills, California, and
you
then it doesn't go well. And then
The
Joey goes
90210?
and visits him on the ranch, and they save the ranch.
They saved the ranch.
There was Comchat, everybody.
We did it.
November
We won
20th.
overtime. Nope. Okay. Go ahead.
November 20th, 1999 is when this movie
Quickest episode.
was released, obviously starring Joey and Andy
Whoa.
Lawrence. Directed
1999
by.
was a huge year for DComs.
Yeah,
Big year for
it really
DComs.
was. It really was. They thought that they maybe had some hits on their hand, and they said, "Let's run with it."
They did, in fact. have some
Directed
hits.
by Greg Beeman.
Greg Beeman.
He's beaming. He's beaming, folks. He's so happy. The movie kicks off
That movie.
on the ranch, and little guy over there is just whittling a whistle.
Which little guy? Joey?
Tommy,
Uh,
the character of Tommy.
got it.
Andy is the
Thank you.
actor's name.
He's whittling a whistle.
He's whittling a whistle. And you might be wondering, why is this little lad whittling a whistle? Well, he is going to visit his cousin, Michael. And the last time that they saw each other, Tommy gave him a whistle. And, like, Michael was super pumped about the whistle.
That was
or so
years
Tommy
ago.
says. And so Tommy said, I would like to recreate that moment. And just do it again. I want to do over because it was so good, and I'd like to do it again. Is there any moment that was so good for you that you said, I'm going to try to replicate it?
No, but I had this very weird memory just fly right into my funnel.
Your funnel?
I'm Thomas the Tank Engine. When I was like 9 or 10, I got to see like probably my best friend from childhood. He had moved, and they were coming back, and he got to spend the night at my house. And I was very excited about getting to see my best friend from like pretty much 3 to 8 or 9 years old, moved away. And then first time I got to see him in like a year. And I decided sometime during that day that when he shows up, I'm going to push him. The way I was going to greet him would be like a shoulder push.
I'm gonna push him.
Push.
Like that's the
I'm a
cool
pusher.
thing to do is like a shoulder push.
So your whittled whistle is a push.
And I
in this.
don't know why I thought that as a 10-year-old. I just was like, that's the way I'm going to show that like I missed this guy is like I'm going to push him. And I did
How
it.
hard are we talking?
Not hard, but it still makes me cringe now thinking about it.
How did he respond?
He just was like, what the H, bro? Like, he was like, I mean, it didn't go over that badly. Like,
How old was he?
He was 10, same
Oh,
age
same
me.
as you.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
So Brad McIntyre, if you're listening, shout out, buddy.
Boys on the edge of puberty love wrestling. It's just a fact. There's something happening in their bodies that cause them to go,
This
Let's
conversation
wrestle.
took a turn.
no, but it's true. You know it to be true. You experienced it.
This took a turn.
You love a wrestle.
You love
a wrestle. And sometimes you just go, I think pushing's the best.
I don't
for me
sure,
now.
I'll go with that. But I, for some reason, decided my greeting was going to be a push.
Yeah.
And it's still cringy to this day. Why not just
Would
do
you
like,
rather push or whittle a whistle?
push? I don't want to whittle anything. It seems like mindless.
I would rather push someone and be pushed than to receive a whistle or to whittle a whistle.
Wow.
Well, especially like if you
We're going
like
to start push helloing at the office.
does
Everybody gets a push hello.
if he really
Walk in,
liked
shove.
if Michael really liked the whistle, why would he need another one?
Yeah, I'm never gonna. I mean, I guess I could put it on like my shelf of souvenirs from when I travel, but I don't need more than one.
Yeah, well, one whistle, you're set. Those whistles last a long time, unless you're using it every day.
Like, I'm a sentimental person. You give me one whistle, I will hold on to it. You don't need to repeat that.
Yeah, no, more than fair. But he does want to do that because he is going to L.A. to visit Michael. Now, Michael is super duper rich.
Michael's parents are
Robin
super
Thomas,
rich.
the evil dude from Halloween Town, is his dad.
Yes, and
Well, he got
Come
all
on.
the money from being the mayor.
Of course, mayor of Halloween Town. It's big check.
He bought a .com company, and now we're super rich.
Yep.
dude, that .com boom. I mean, there's
Yeah,
nothing you can do about it.
baby.
What was his domain?
His domain.
Hashtag Old Man Withers.
Oldmanwithers.com.
I love that
It's not.
website.
I don't know if you know this.
www.
A domain
hashtag-
name has no hashtag in it.
It does if
You couldn't even act that old.
you could spell out.
What's his domain name? Hashtag Old Man Withers.
I made a mistake on the first episode, and I'm going to stand by it until I
God,
die.
I think that you should. So Michael is going to be
I'm going to double down.
Hashtag oldmanwithers.com.
right.
Yeah.
.net.
And things are off to a bit of a rocky start because Michael is late picking up Tommy at the airport. But I'm sure
yeah, he's gonna
that's
make up for it. Yeah.
I'm sure nothing else.
He's cleared
bad.
off
You
his
make
calendar.
one mistake, and then you just go above board the
Right.
rest of the visit
He's
to make
20
up
years
for it.
old. He looks like Joey Lawrence looks at 20.
Yep.
He's
The way
got
Mario Lopez looked at 16.
That's right. Yeah, he's got a girlfriend of 2 whole weeks. He's cleared his
Yes.
calendar
He's got it, yeah.
for his cousin. There's no doubt about it.
Now, Tommy keeps trying to give Michael the whistle, but he kind of keeps getting interrupted. They get to his house, Michael's house, and basically the entire family just leaves him. The parents, who don't get in trouble for anything, they are gone the whole week. They say, "Hey, we knew you were coming into town, so we planned a trip around
They
it.
did
We
not.
had
It
to
was
get
a
out of
work
here.
trip.
Well, there's nothing
don't
we
wanna
would
be near
rather
this
do
kid.
less
they
than
were
be around
really
you."
sorry they couldn't be there.
I'm sure they were.
There's a scene where they apologize.
Oh, the whistle kid's coming into
Whistle
town.
kid?
I think I got a work
wait,
trip.
Whistle kid. No.
I got a work.
I got to
trip.
go back to Halloween Town stat.
Yeah, no kidding. But also Michael isn't really around. And so the next day it doesn't get any better.
He's just
And
playing video games, swimming in a pool, doing whatever he wants.
Kicking
the worst.
kicking a ball around a yard, kind of just looking sad, always tucking in his shirt into his jeans. And
That's how you know he's sad.
yeah. So the next day doesn't get any better. The day after that, nothing. Michael's just gone. He's got a girlfriend and life is busy, you know. But he promised to take him to Disneyland,
And that's on the docket.
It's on the docket.
Yeah.
But the last day comes.
They're on the way to Disney.
Much to Michael's surprise, it's the last
Yeah,
day.
Michael
so he's
had
like,
no
well, I
clue.
guess-
He's like, I'm taking him to Disneyland next week.
Yeah.
And the housekeeper is like, next week is today.
Yeah,
He
try.
leaves.
So they are on their way to Disneyland, but on the way, he gets a call from his girlfriend. She wants him to meet Daddy. And so he drops her off at.
want to wrestle.
Listen, there's something going on, and like the way of it's just like that's kind of how it exits your body through puberty. It's like push them.
Man,
So what I've learned from working
is
with
that Bran
Bran
needs
over
to
the
go
last
to
year.
therapy.
Oh, I was going to say, Bran is an expert on hormones and taxes.
Okay.
And if you have
Yes,
questions on
yes.
either,
I've lived through.
Bran at deckthehallmark.com.
I've lived through both of those things.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Expert on tax credits, if you want loopholes on those.
Electric vehicle, then return it.
Money back.
Money back.
Credit in your pocket.
guarantee. Find a car salesman that does the money back guarantee.
Dude, you know how CarMax has what is that, a week or 30 days?
Yeah.
What if you got an electric vehicle on December 28th from CarMax?
Dude, I'm saying.
You got the credit. You
Uh-oh,
returned it on January 4th.
Sure does seem like someone's coming around. Sure does seem it.
Yeah.
So
You know, a little choked up about the tax credits?
drops Tommy off at
emotional.
at an indoor playground for toddlers, and is like, I'm sure this kid's gonna be great. Tommy does not stick around.
I do want to be clear, though. Aside from the toddler play area, Andy Lawrence has had a great week. Like,
I mean, yes, but it's
you
also
work,
lonely.
but you work on a
I'm
ranch.
lonely.
You're up at 4:45 a.m. You're feeding chickens. You're riding horses. You're up all day, sun up to sundown, no break. You got to go to California, swim in a pool, watch movies all day, play video games. Sign me up right now.
Put your earbuds in real quick. I brought a clip that shows how
Here we go. I know what's happening,
I don't even need the headphones.
but I'm glad that this
how
is
he was
happening anyway.
feeling that
Hit it.
entire week.
I'm lonely.
So
I'm glad. Is that Andy Lawrence singing with
Yeah.
the Lawrence Family Jam Band?
just listen. It's really.
I'm lonely.
Yeah, no, I can hear it.
You can
I
hear it
the
through,
Lawrence
cuts
in there.
through.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't even need the headphones.
I get it. I get the heartbreak from your cousin not caring about you anymore. I'm not saying I'm not sympathetic to Andy Lawrence. What I'm saying
That's what it seems like.
is that he still had a better than work the ranch week.
He doesn't need that stuff. It doesn't do anything for him.
He had a better than work the ranch week.
He likes working the ranch.
If his work the ranch week is a 5 of 10, he had a
But
5 and a
not
half.
everyone
He
enjoys
had a
the same
6.
activities. It's a 10 out of 10 for you, but
I didn't say it was a 10 of 10. That's not what I said. I said it's not like he had a 5 of 10 week at the ranch and now he's a 2 of 10. He had a better than work the ranch week.
Okay, Dan, here's what I'm going to do.
No, but he's nobody his own age at the ranch.
An elaborate scheme on my part. I am going to move away.
Okay.
And in 10 years' time,
Okay.
I'm going to invite you to come and stay
And
with
I'm gonna
me
push
in
you.
my mansion. You will push me. You're still going through it. In my mansion, you'll come, and then I'm just going to ditch you. I'm going to ditch
That
you.
is not what happened in this movie.
What do you mean?
They were not best friends and business owners
in-
for a decade. They were cousins. and spent 1 week together.
In Tommy's mind,
They
they have
are
a
best
whittled.
friends.
They have a whittled whistle connection.
they had a
relationship.
great time at the family reunion,
Yes,
and Tommy is looking
I'm
forward.
not saying that I don't empathize with Tommy's plight. What I'm saying is that it's not like they put him in a cage. He had a great week.
May as well have.
He had
it
a
felt
great
like
week.
a cage. He couldn't leave the house.
He had a great week.
He had an okay week.
He had a great week.
To you, it
But
wasn't a
okay,
good week to
but
him.
he had an okay week. He didn't have a terrible week.
I will concede
back
that he
to
had
you,
an
Brain.
okay
Thank
week.
you. Back to you, Brain.
Are we gonna have a meeting after this to discuss what Dan and I are gonna do when you move away
You'll
tomorrow?
figure it out.
Okay.
It's going to be
figure it out.
awesome.
I'm leaving it too.
Black and white
I
movies.
put it on
all
the calendar.
time,
I'm
baby.
guys. I'm leaving it too. It's on
Foreign
the
films
calendar.
and proper diction, y'all.
Woo!
Proper diction for a couple of proper dicks.
Okay. Literacy. Let's go.
So, Tommy does not stick around at this indoor playground. He's not having it. He's not having a good week. And he gets a ride home from the housekeeper. She basically is just always around, making sure everything is good. And she is not pleased with the way in which Michael has presented himself this week. And so on the way home, Michael gets into a bit of an accident, a little fender bender. And Michael's parents get back into town. Tommy does not rat Michael out.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, how was Disneyland? And
So fun.
he's like, it was the best. And so it's time for Tommy to leave. Tommy goes home, and he does rat Michael out to his mom. He tells mom everything. And
they're
so
best
what can he
friends.
do? And so the word does get back to Michael's parents that Michael was never around and that Tommy had an awful week.
Michael was never around.
So obviously,
So you have heard the Family Lawrence Jam Band.
That was Hamilton. Thank you very much.
who do you think wrote it? The Lawrence brothers wrote Hamilton. We all know, we know
Dear
that.
Lawrence brothers, what to say to you?
Yeah, that's their first single. you know.
Lin-Manuel Lawrence brothers.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Lawrence Brothers Family Jam Band. Of course. Yes.
You've seen it. You know it. So the word gets back to the parents, and they are not pleased. Then the police show up. This is all a unfortunate 10 minutes for our guy Michael, because his parents are like, hey, you left Tommy when you said you were going to take him to Disneyland. You're in trouble. Ding dong. The police are here. The
police are here.
And, hey, someone was in a crash. They gave faulty info.
Yeah.
And we've traced it back to you. So big bang bong, bad news for Michael. And so his parents say, you need to learn a lesson.
That's right.
And so we're going to send you to Montana. I could point it out on a map. And
Brandon cannot point out Montana.
You're going to work.
Brandon took a quiz where he had to identify every state.
Ooh.
He got 32 right, and they give you 3 guesses for each state.
The only 2 that I mix up are Colorado and Wyoming, because they're perfect squares.
I feel pretty good. The only area that gets a little tricky is New England for me.
I will say I have an app on my phone.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I know all 50 states.
I just feel like it was a very nerd moment. So where they have all the states at the bottom, and you have to drag them onto the map. Yeah. So I get Colorado and Wyoming mixed up because they're both squares.
Brandon got that, but he got 2 guesses to get it right. He still only got 32 states out of 50.
You know what? I'm going to better myself this year, and I'm going to learn where all 50 are.
I can help you.
I feel like you could do that.
I won't help you.
I could do that. You could do that this morning. Bet on yourself this year. Yeah, you could do that right. You could do that before the podcast.
Dude, I'm so bad. My memory is so bad. To the point on the quiz, Dan. When you get it wrong, it tells you what it is, and I still didn't know. My memory is so bad.
But if I was like Magic playoff tickets at the Garden, courtside, or on the line, you'd do it.
I would do that.
Yeah, you would knock it out in under 30 minutes.
No, I don't think I could do it.
You would.
I honestly...
Your brain would kick into high gear.
I don't think I could do it in 30 minutes.
Wow. All right.
I don't think I could. I'm taking the under.
All right.
So he is now being sent to Montana.
You mean the over, right? You're taking the over.
I'm taking the under on me.
Minutes. Okay.
I can't do it.
That's not how over-unders work.
Yeah, I'm taking the under on me. I'm getting under 50 states.
Over-under this movie.
Under. So going to go to Montana to work with Tommy on the ranch for free for a month. Now, this is a bit of a tricky pickle for him because he has plans to go with his girlfriend to what his parents think is like learning at large.
Like a study abroad program.
A study abroad is the way they say it, not learning at large.
That's where you went to learn the states.
Right, I went to learning at large.
Learningatlarge.edu.
Hashtag learning at
similar
large.
to the graduation, risk-free graduation
Risk-free
place.
graduation place.
That's right.
So but he's not doing that. They're going to
Yeah,
skiing.
he was gonna go to this like study program, but then actually just sneak off to the Riviera with his girlfriend.
Got it.
And
So-
you know where the Riviera is.
Yeah, it's down
Montana.
I think it's definitely south of Montana for sure.
Under.
He shows up in his private plane, and
It's
that's
not
where
his private plane. It's just a small plane. It's just a small plane.
Really? I thought for sure it was a private plane.
I think it was a situation where there's not a big
They
airport
have a
there.
private plane, but they made Tommy fly commercial.
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah, for sure.
No, it was just to get to the small part of Montana. He flew into like a larger city and then took a small plane to get to the ranch.
Interesting, huh? Well, he's rich. I just assumed it's a small plane.
Michael's not even at the ranch yet. Do we have any plans today?
No.
No.
Well,
Okay, good.
The reason being, Dan,
Buckle
is
up.
so little happens on the ranch
We
itself.
only say hello once a day.
That was it.
So little happened on the actual ranch, Dan. So we had to vamp for time. So he
It's gonna
flies
be real
in.
fun when Brian comes back, not knowing that that's how we say hello.
Yeah.
Now.
Nobody tell him.
So
He
he
won't listen to this.
flies in on baby plane, and that is when we see the other Lawrence brother do a little tip of the hat.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's
quick
just a
cameo.
townie.
Yeah, he's just a townie unloading the plane.
Right. And
Classic middle child.
Tommy overhears Michael talking on the phone about the trip that he's gonna
Yeah.
go on and how his parents don't know about it. So now he has even more leverage
Right.
on Mike.
You need to do what I say.
Right.
Or Riviera.
So Michael, he teaches Michael how to use the satellite dish, and it's like, stay up as late as you want to. That's all.
Oh, he getting even with dads him is what he does.
Yeah. So the next day, 4:30 a.m. wake up call. Come eat your breakfast. We're gonna go and do some work. And the first thing is like doing the moving the manure, right?
No, that's like the fifth thing. The pranks are fast and furious.
Yeah, I can't keep them all straight.
Like just like you should ride this horse, and then he's like,
Well,
no.
that comes later.
Is the manure first?
I think manure's first.
I felt like the manure was way like later on, but maybe I'm wrong because that's the one
the
where you were
manure
like,
and the logs are similar.
Yes,
I
the
thought-
logs are later. The manure's
logs are
first.
last.
because that's when you go nuts about his dude's tank top. I mean, rightfully so.
Well, I go nuts multiple times.
Okay, but I thought that was later in
No,
the movie.
the
but
first shot of him in a tank top is a great moment in podcast history of just watching Brand's face
Yeah.
watch Joey
Yeah.
Lawrence.
oh my god!
Nevertheless, there's a lot of like
He would
pranks
for
here.
sure push Joey.
Oh, he would push Joey,
Listen,
adolescent or no.
so a lot of things happen. A lot of like, hey, do this, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
hold back a little bit of information so that
Like you have to move this manure from here to there, and there just happens to be a wheelbarrow right
Yeah.
there.
Did I not mention that we have a tractor?
Yeah.
Hey, ride this. Right, you should ride this horse, and he like makes it seem like this horse is like not like the
good
one
horse.
you should. Yeah, a good horse. So he's like, no, I want that, and that horse
I want
goes
that
crazy.
stallion.
It gets to the point where so much of what he's doing, Tommy is doing, it's far and away repayment. Like we get it. Michael is 20 and would have rather hung out with his girlfriend than his cousin. He was wrong. He should have hung out with his cousin and done what was right.
That's not what you said earlier when you said he had the best week ever.
I didn't. Nope. Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
take it to the tape,
Didn't say
folks.
that. Please take it to the tape.
He said
.com.
he said he wishes he could be left
But
alone.
at some point, what he's doing to Michael, what Tommy's doing to Michael, is above and beyond.
Yeah, like they're even.
Yeah, he makes him
Definitely
load
even.
all of these giant logs into a truck that doesn't work.
Right.
Like it is.
It's like, hey, move.
It's out of hand.
It is a dirty trick. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
He
the
doesn't
law,
say this truck. He
right,
says the truck.
Yes,
truck.
yes.
And clearly this truck is old. Move him to the truck that is new, that's around the
course.
It's a lot of
I mean,
that.
that one's a little on Joey. I mean, that truck looks like it has not moved in years.
But if
But
you
that is-
say that and there's no other truck in sight, kind of a dick move.
But that
Yeah.
is the one. That is the one that finally pushes him over the edge, and he like goes and he yells at Tommy, and he's like, "Listen, man!" Like he basically what Dan just said.
Yeah.
Like I knew that I
Yeah,
left
I
you
screwed
alone,
up,
that
but
was
this
messed
is
up,
absurd.
This is crazy, right? And so
This is my life. These times are so hard.
you said it. What's that?
It's Eminem.
Oh wow, okay, great. So but he's still stuck there. He still has a little bit of time left, and he does help Tommy save a horse. In the one scene from this movie that I remember, there is a horse that is from when I watched it as a kid.
Yes.
There is
A horse in mud.
A horse in mud, and Tommy's like, he's gonna die, and Michael's like, nah, man, let's go. So they go, and Tommy's like trying
Falling
to
through mud.
going through the mud and gets the lasso around the horse, and then it's like pull and they do the thing, and the horse is saved, and we love it. And that's when Michael begins to go, huh?
There's
Like I-
something to this.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to this hard work.
And all along, we're getting hints. There's like a couple of ranch hands that work
Yeah.
there. One's named Mule. The other's JX Downey. What's his name?
JD
Twister.
Palsy.
MC Escher. JD
Twister?
Palsy.
I don't remember what his name is.
Twister.
Twister.
Say it.
But
Yeah.
yes,
Stacey Gainey is his name in real life. That's his name. But we're finding out that the farm isn't going to be there much longer.
farm's not
They're
going to
gonna
make
they're
it.
gonna lose the ranch.
Right.
Yes.
And Michael finally learns about this.
That's right.
And he's so bothered. He calls his dad. He's like, Dad, we got to do something about this.
That's right.
The farm, they're going
We've
to
been
lose the
living
farm.
high on the hog.
Yes. And Dad's like, you don't think I
Come on.
offered? Like, I'm
I'm
not
a
a
good rich
monster. I
person.
know
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah.
tried to give them money. They're proud people.
Yeah.
They work there
What
on
are you
the
gonna
farm
do?
to put their hands to dirt, and they do stuff. And they don't want our money. And so,
But it's a little different than what we see in like a typical TV movie where they just won't take the money and they're just trying to come up with ways on their own to get the money. She just says like this farm is a bad investment.
Yeah.
We're not like we're just selling and we're closing. Like
it's
like we're moving on.
It's a real in this economy.
Yeah, it's a really like sound way to look at it.
She's like, I'm not taking your money because it's just going to be like a Band-Aid on a bigger problem.
Yeah. My dream is no longer there.
Yes.
So Michael starts like trying to come up with like, hey, like let's do a pyramid scheme. Like trying to come up with ways to save the farm.
So you give me 12,000.
That's right. And then
but then you get 3 people to give you 12,000, and then they get 3 people.
That's how it works. That's how Brand's been scammed twice online.
Come on, man.
And then we have enough money to save the ranch.
Brand's been scammed twice online.
Yeah, the whole time.
About the same horse.
The whole time that Joey Lawrence is explaining this plan to the ranch hands, I just kept picturing that scene from The Office where Michael is trying it, and Jim is just like, it's
pyramid.
a pyramid.
That's right.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
So it's time for him to leave, and it's time for the family to
auction off their
auction
belongings.
off the stuff. There's nothing more to do. And Michael suddenly has this realization that he once had to write a paper.
Well, we're not there yet.
No,
Is he not?
At the beginning, you see him get the paper back.
Well, I mean, so he leaves and he's on his way to the Riviera, but then he's like, I can't go with you.
I can't do it.
That's right.
I have to be with my family.
So there's a paper he got a D on when he was in business classes or something, and he calls his dad.
So he gets back to the ranch. They're auctioning everything off, and he's like, someone says something, and it triggers this thought in his head where he's like, wait a minute.
Like, read me my crappy paper.
His dad goes, a D?
Yes. And then he has the realization. Historical landmark.
It's
trust.
It's land trust.
That's
land
yes.
trust.
Because these wild horses have rights, and
if you like take the land, it's bad for the land.
Yeah, so like they have the right to live in their environment, and so the land would belong to this like land trust that would protect it. For the horses, they could live and continue doing,
And then Tommy's mom could continue to run the ranch.
Did you write the paper?
I did.
Seem like you did wrote the paper.
So they won't own the land anymore.
Have you ever gotten anything under than a B on a paper in your life?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
You just seem like somebody that would write every paper would be a really, like, you'd take a lot of time on it.
Yeah, I wrote a paper one time, and it was not great, and the teacher reached out to me and was like, this was not, like, you've been writing A papers, this was not your best work. And I said, yeah, but you already told me that even with this paper, my average in the class is an A. And then he was like, do you want to rewrite it? And I said, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's the correct response.
I'll think in the room. Awesome.
Yeah, I just put 0. Like, it was May of like my junior year of college.
Phone
and I was
in.
like,
I'm good, man.
yeah,
Phone
I
it
literally
in.
was
Good.
like,
So that's the one. All right. Yeah, that doesn't count.
So he takes this information
and
that
that was
he.
on my U.S. terrorism class.
Ooh.
Well, we're not gonna.
Terrorism paper?
Yeah. I had to write about the IRA, and I just didn't do any research.
The IRS is terrorism. You're right about that.
The IRA.
Oh. So he does go to the
Individual
bank.
retirement account? Come on, Brand.
So he does go to the. I've got a Roth.
You got a Roth? Yeah. I got a SEP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just some light terrorism jokes for you folks at home. It's good. It's good on a Friday. You can take those. You can use them today if you want to. At work.
Use them today.
You can use them today. So he runs to the bank and he's like, hey, Mr. Bankman, you do look like you work at a bank. I think he's worked at a bank in every movie he's ever been in.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, let me tell you what I learned from my D paper.
Joey rolled up to the bank and was like, yo,
Yo.
you look like you
Yes.
work at
Yo,
Proper hello.
schools
Give a
this
proper bank hello.
schools this banker on land trust, and the banker's like,
Yeah.
Got me
you
there.
Got me there. You did your research, just enough
Well, he
for a
also
D.
points out, like, you've been foreclosing on ranches all over this area. And the guy's like, yeah, because they're not paying. And Joey's like, but they're all still for sale. Like, it's not making your bank any money.
Right.
This would keep the ranch working, and you would be and the guy's like, can't argue with
kid's pretty
your
smart.
logic there.
So
None of us
an
here in the
A.
banking community thought of this.
yeah. So he runs back to the auction, shuts the auction down, tells the family, hey, good news, land trust. You get to save, you get to stay. And also, if you wouldn't mind, little lady. I would like.
There is some weird
There's
sexual
some weird
tension
sexual
between
tension.
Joey Lawrence and his aunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am
Not by
realizing
blood.
as we just about get to the end of this movie that we did not even talk about the scene that has lived rent free in my mind
Okay.
since we watched this. And it is the other plot line that Tommy and the mom are kind of dealing with some grief. Tommy's dad died and the ranch has just not kind of come back from all the medical bills and stuff.
Right.
Tommy and his dad were working on a treehouse. And so Tommy's been trying to finish the
Of
treehouse.
course. Yes.
And Joey's like, they go off for a day, and Joey's like, I'm going to finish the treehouse for him. And Tommy gets back, and of course is upset because he's like, this was something my
was the
dad
thing.
and I were
Yeah.
doing. I was going to finish this. Like, and he just has an emotional breakdown. And I have thought about that breakdown on the treehouse far off, like more than I should have, because I'm like, he destroyed the treehouse. And I was like, it was a beautiful treehouse, and I get it, grief and rage and all that, but
Treehouse look great.
it looked like a good treehouse.
Look like a good treehouse. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So
But-
that's how the movie ends,
Yeah.
though. He's like, hey,
in
I'd like to
watching it,
stay.
Dan did point out that if Andy Lawrence could destroy the treehouse that quickly, that maybe it wasn't a great
Maybe
treehouse.
It wasn't a great treehouse.
9-year-old me did
Yeah.
not put that together.
He's
9-year-old me was like, you had a free treehouse.
He's barely swinging the hammer, and
Well,
those
and that's-
boards are just flying off.
What's
Yeah.
great is like
But I wanted a treehouse as a kid, and
Yeah.
he got one, and then he
I think
destroyed
this is
it.
more
I
about
was
you
upset.
than
It is,
anything else, yeah.
He
When-
destroyed the treehouse.
when
Yeah.
Michael sees Tommy working on the treehouse for the first time, and Mom's like, he's been working on that since his dad passed away. He goes up to Tommy, and he's like trying to hammer, and he's not doing. It's like no wonder it's taking him so long.
Yeah.
Kid
Andy's
can't.
not doing a good job.
Kid's
Andy
tried his
cannot
best.
hammer. Nope.
So Michael says, "I'd love to stay and help with the ranch," and then
Gets the whistle
Gets the
and-
whistle. Hey, would you
Yeah.
like to help with
I
the
do
treehouse?
think that maybe he ends up with his aunt. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we're not
There was-
entirely
Just,
sure.
I mean, it's
There was some weird.
There's some stuff
Chemistry
happening.
there.
Definite stuff
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
Definite stuff.
Yeah.
And that's Horse Sense, everybody.
Hey.
We're going to come back. We're going to do some overtime. We're going to make our list. We're going to check it twice. Here on Do You Come to Sundance?
Anytime you want to pitch in here, it would be great.
I just was thinking about the next line in that song about naughty or nice, and I just couldn't say anything.
Welcome back, everybody. We're
Sidetracked
talking.
with a Christmas Carol. So you
Talk
can do.
about-
Talking Horse Sense,
What was,
hopefully.
like, naughty or nice, Joey and the mom.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I just
That's fair.
stayed quiet.
It is time for overtime. It's where we-
Decom Descendants.
There you go.
It's time where we
Welcome.
talk about how this movie aged over time. I do have some reviews I'd like to read
Oh, it's my favorite part.
from
It is.
Letterboxd.
We should just get rid of the whole show and just read Letterboxd reviews.
This is from Emily, who says the main guy playing the 20-year-old was actually 23 when this movie was filmed, but somehow manages to also look 35. Also, his character literally proposes a pyramid scheme for saving the ranch. Still don't know what horse sense means. What does it mean? Kennedy says, I can't believe Decom tried to teach me about pyramid schemes. Jacob says 3 stars. And Dan, if you could fact check this, that'd be great.
Okay.
Today I learned that the writers of this Disney Channel movie also co-wrote The Conjuring 1 and 2.
What? Oh, man. Chad and Carrie Hayes
Yeah.
are the names of the writers.
Okay.
I'm just clicking on Chad Hayes here. Conjuring. Yep.
Wow.
Sure did. Conjuring 1 and 2.
You can feel that a little bit. Brendan says 1 star, severe lack of horse telepathy here.
That's
funny.
funny. That's funny.
I love Letterboxd.
Wazaka 3K5
How do you spell that?
WAZZAH 3K
Got it.
5. In an Obi-Wan Kenobi voice, use the horse, Michael.
Oh, my God. It's terrible.
Riz says Black Lightning emoted more than Joey Lawrence.
Wow. No one's going to mistake the Lawrences for, like, good actors. Like, that's fair.
Big Break says dude wanted to save the ranch with a pyramid scheme before remembering he's been training to be a land trust lawyer.
Oh,
I'm a little let down these reviews. No one else picked up on the tension between Joey and the aunt.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll leave with movie who says Beverly Hills F-boy gets a taste of that real ranch dressing. And I don't really know what to do with that.
There it is. There it is.
But
That's the review of the day.
Well, let's get to it. It's where we talk about how we felt about this movie. Aaron and I have both seen this movie. Dan, you had not. Aaron, as somebody who watched it then and has watched it now, what did you think of this movie?
Segment's called Overtime.
Overtime.
I thought this movie held up.
God almighty.
I still had a good time watching it. I remember this movie very vividly from my childhood. Yeah, I mean, I guess looking at it now, I think Tommy might have been a little too harsh on his older cousin on the ranch. But back in the day, I was like, yeah, he deserves it. He didn't take you to Disneyland.
He deserves weeks of manual labor for being a 20-year-old.
He promised to take me to Disneyland, and he didn't, and therefore,
yes,
shenanigans galore. I wanted to live on a ranch. Seemed great. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I remember liking this movie more. I also remember more happening. And I think that's the biggest sin of this movie is that the scene that I remember the most from my childhood, the horse saving scene, is really the biggest thing that happens in this movie and everything. Like, it's just a lot of like, hey, do this. I got him for like about an hour. It's just
got
tricks.
you more manual labor the hard way.
It's
got
just
'em.
tricks. It's just tricks for a while. And then the way in which the ranch is saved. I'm not upset that they came up with this not horse trust, this land trust thing.
It's a group of horses.
What I am still baffled by is the decision to go, hey, Dad, I know that you could probably like look this up.
Yeah, internet existed.
Or, but I think the best way to find out about this is from my D paper.
That's right.
Which could
Be
very
wrong.
well be wrong because it's a D.
It's a D. It's a D paper.
But Dad gives him the info. He runs, and the bank guy's like, yep, I guess that's true. So just like not a ton happening. The thing that I remember is the biggest thing, and then the way in which they saved the ranch, I just was like, whatever. So not my favorite, unfortunately, and I liked it less now than I remember liking it back then. Dan?
Yeah, we came in this morning, and on the calendar, it said DCOM Horse Sense, and I'm like, cool, we get to watch a movie called Horse Sense. I've forgotten that we had watched this movie. Would that ever happen with Can of Worms? No, wouldn't. Would it ever happen with Under Wraps? No, it wouldn't. This movie is utterly forgettable, aside from the just physique of Joey Lawrence. Dude is ripped. The rest of this movie, trash. It is not good. It is useless. It is long. It doesn't amount to anything. The land trust thing is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
The prank TV is ridiculous.
Prank TV!
The fact that you're blaming Joey Lawrence, who's 20 and looks like Joey Lawrence, for not wanting to hang with his 9-year-old cousin, not surprising in any way, shape, or form.
Little of a whistle, Dan. Come on.
The movie was such a slog. It was a tough watch. Was not entertained. Did not enjoy. Would not watch again. Cannot recommend.
I would watch again.
Absolutely baffled that this held up for you.
Yeah.
Fine that you would watch again. It's your childhood, but held up for you.
I mean,
get out of here.
It's exactly how I remember it as a kid.
Ugh.
And I had the added benefit of actually understanding what a land trust was this time.
Hey.
That's true. When
That's
you're
true
a
when
kid,
you're like, oh, it makes sense. We did it.
I was just like, yeah, he wrote a paper and they saved the ranch.
Bam.
all you got to do is put your trust in land and it'll put trust back in you.
I did not even remember land trust was a thing. I just remember he wrote a paper and whatever he wrote about saved the ranch. And that's what I remembered. And this time I was like, oh, a little bit of thought went into the script.
But also, but the fact that they made it a D paper, it's like that information's crap. Like you don't know it, and yet you're using your source for what a land trust is a D paper.
If like Brandon was like, wait a minute, I think we're in Montana, and he called his dad and he was like, get out the paper I wrote on the 50 states.
Get out that quiz I took.
That I got a 64 on.
Are we in Montana?
Tell me if we're in Montana. And he was like, looks like you're in Montana.
That's exactly right, Dan.
I mean, it was 1999.
That's exactly right.
They didn't have cell phones with internet. Like, what was he going to do? That was
his dad's at home.
With internet.
His dad has internet.
Has internet.
I didn't have internet in 1999.
You were you filthy rich?
Filthy rich in California?
Well,
I had internet in 99.
in
We didn't even own a
1999,
house.
if they were on the phone, they couldn't also be on the internet.
Cell phone. You
All right,
a
no.
cell phone.
You know what? You're right, Aaron.
Yeah,
This
whatever. This movie holds
rules.
up. It's so awesome.
I forgot about
Go
dial-up.
horse sense.
I forgot about dial-up. It's time for.
You're not going to like where this movie is on my ranking.
It's time for
I
making.
think we already knew that based upon the overtime segment.
It's time for making the list. Let's not waste any time, Aaron.
Yeah, we would
where? How grossly overrated do you have this movie on your list?
Number one.
No,
I
you
don't,
do
I don't,
not.
I don't.
No, we would have to have a serious talk about your employment at Bramble Jam. I can't, like, what? Sheesh. All right, go ahead.
Two
Top
movies
10.
are now off of our
That's
list,
right.
by the way. So congratulations to you, Lucky Dog, at Under Wraps. No, Under Wraps might
Oh,
still
is
be
this-
on yours.
Is this the week where we don't have to hear about?
You lucky dog anymore.
Yeah, it's
this
the
is
week.
it.
It's spoiler
you finally
alert.
joined us
Spoiler alert. It's
in
the week.
reality. You could just make it a
Yeah.
list view and it would be.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't do that. All right. At number 10, Under Wraps. 9, Can of Worms. 8, Brink. 7, Genius. 6, Don't Look Under the Bed. 5, Horse Sense. 4, Xenon. 3, Halloween Town. 2, Smart House. 1, Johnny Tsunami.
Oh,
I got to be honest with you. I like
This
I,
is-
Aaron. I like you as a
this
person.
is unbelievable.
I like you as a person. I hate you as a friend. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't even know you
Brink
anymore.
at 8.
Which hurt my heart when I heard
Horses
it.
I know.
Top 5.
I do think we're gonna the next few weeks. I'm gonna have a dramatic change up of my list. So just
Why?
let it be there for now, because we're getting into like
I
a
got
good
you.
period of decom, and it's gonna affect how I view these movies. So just let it sit at 5 for now. It will not stay that high for sure. It will move down.
Embarrassing.
I just want to say this really quickly.
I would just really like a horse.
This is
And
more
a
about
treehouse.
9-year-old
would
Aaron
really like a
wanting
horse.
Yes.
a horse and a treehouse.
And I watched this movie and I was like, I could have
And
a
a
horse
Joey
and
Lawrence.
a treehouse.
I can't wait to build a treehouse with you, Dan.
Right?
Can I come hang out in the treehouse?
Yeah, maybe we'll run electricity to it, like on the way home.
I feel like you and I building a treehouse is a fun bit.
It's a really fun bit, and so we get the perfect tree. It
We
goes.
do.
It literally is over basically both of our
true.
yards.
If I can come hang out in the treehouse, I will move Horse Sense down to number 12.
Wow, that's all it takes.
So it's really about the treehouse, clearly.
It's literally about the treehouse.
Yeah, you can come. You can come.
Deal.
I
Yeah,
have
12.
I have number 10, Horse Sense. Number 9, Can of Worms. Number 8, 13th Year. 7, Xenon. 6, Genius. 5, Don't You Look Under That Bed. 4, Halloween Town. 3, Johnny Tsunami. 2, Smart House. 1, Brink. But I do want to give an update really quickly on Brink. I did just watch a Lifetime movie.
In the year of our Lord 2024.
My acting coach nightmare, I believe.
Yep.
And Eric Von Detten, for some reason, came out of retirement to do that movie. And it may, I'm still sitting with it, it may have an effect on Brink moving forward.
It's like you didn't realize how bad of an actor he was until you saw him not as Brink. You're like,
Right, because
Yes.
in Brink,
he embodies
he's
everything about Brink.
Yes. But when I see him doing something other than Brink,
You start
I'm
to
like,
think, what would
uh-oh.
have happened if the guy that played Johnny Tsunami was Brink?
that's right, Dan.
And then
I'm not
right?
I just want to say this. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
Say hello to the rest of your life.
I'm not doubting
Right?
whether or not
If Brendan Baker is listening,
I mean,
and
come
if
on.
you want to live on a ranch in Colorado together, hit me up.
Because here's the thing, like I would of Brendan Baker and Jed Jackson, like the whole Johnny Tsunami cast,
Anyone
is better
other than Eric
would
Von
give a
Detten.
better performance. But I do feel like like Brink was Brink.
Brink's
Like
Brink.
it's just kind
Brink's
of
gonna Brink.
it all works. But now it's going to be hard for me to like not see it all. You know, it's like when you see light for the first time as a baby, you're like, oh my gosh, this is totally different. This is totally different than where I was.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking.
Do you remember when you saw light for? Did you create?
Well, you know how like
Try again.
no, you know how you spent 9 months in darkness?
Yeah, okay, but you don't remember coming out
You
of your
don't
mom's
freaking
womb.
remember. You don't remember what I know. You don't know what I
There it
remember.
is. There's the one you're
You don't
looking
know
for.
what I remember.
I know what you're trying to say. It's just the worst possible
I
illustration
started
to get
it.
there.
I started it, and I'm going with it. Dan, go ahead.
Hashtag oldmanwithers.com. We stand
.com.
by our choices here.
Number 10, horse sense, where it belongs.
Hey,
Hey, we did it.
you just got horse sensed.
You got horse sensed. Have
some
one,
horse sense.
One inkling of horse sense and put it at 10 where it belongs. Number 9, under wraps. Number 8, can of worms. Number 7, smart house. Number 6, don't look under the bed. Number 5, Zenon, which is what I'm calling Xenon today.
Thank you.
Number 4, Brink.
Oppenheimer.
Man, Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Brink and Xenon. Ugh. Number 3, Genius. 2, Halloween Town. 1, Johnny Tsunami.
3 Genius is still kind of crazy to me.
I will say this. I every time I look at it, I'm like, really? Don't Brink and Xenon belong above Genius? And then
And Genius for me, I feel like is higher than it. Like there's something about Genius that
Genius
just kind of
works
like
for me. It
it's
just
a
works.
sneaky. It's a sneaky pickle.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I have Genius over Xenon, and it's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy. If you would have told me,
But I will say, Genius, Brink, and Xenon, you could argue, you could get me to move any of those up to 3 and any of those down to 5, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. Horse sense, on the other hand.
well, we're gonna be back next week with another DCOM Descendants. We'll be talking about up,
and
and
away.
I'm excited about it. A little
too.
superhero.
I
movie.
don't think I've seen this one
Really?
since
Oh,
it aired.
okay.
No, I've seen
Is
it.
it about hot air balloons?
No.
Oh.
That movie's coming out later.
Is that the sequel to this one?
Honestly, there might be a
Balloon
hot air
sense?
balloon movie.
No, I don't think so.
Isn't there a part of True Confessions that involves a hot air balloon?
You are thinking of on the Amanda Show.
Okay. Sure I am. I love the Amanda Show.
They did a fake, I think it was the Amanda Show. They did like a fake soap
Yes!
opera.
Yes!
And the mom's lost in a hot air balloon.
That's right. That's a classic. We're going to be back next week with Up and Away. Until then, keep decomming and keep don't forget about
do
land
it.
trust. See if it applies to you. Tell your friends and family.
Don't forget to push them.
DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast that's recorded live in, that Greenville, South Carolina, the Bramble Jam Podcast Studios. It's produced by Brandon Gray. For more information on DCOM Descendants, you can go to DCOMDescendants.com, or to find us on the socials, go to DCOM Podcast at
#oldmanwithers.com.
.net.